all set up and ready to do a dragon paw. Watercolour pencil or a pencil, and it's really light. Just trying to remind my hand and my muscle memory what dragon shapes feel like, so that when I'm actually doing the paw, I'm back in that mode. I'm back into dragon shapes and what they feel and look like. So I'm not sure if you'll actually be able to see this properly, but that is what I'm doing, and quite often what I do when I'm warming up for a new piece of work. I was imagining like a galaxy dragon blending into it. So at least I'm going to start with black and see what happens. As you know, it may end up being something completely different, but let's start with it and see what happens. The first thing I'm going to try is swiping over it. So I've used swipe before, and the idea is that although it looks like you're wiping it all off or mixing it all, the silicone and the colours in different ratios pop back through the black. So I wanted to see if that would give me a sort of space background or whether it wouldn't work. This is all experiment. definitely didn't give me what I wanted. So I've gone back through it and decided to try a different technique, which is the great thing about, especially about paint pouring. You can literally scrape it all off if you wanted to and start again. I have used this technique for making a portrait of my husband, for doing horses for people. I've done owls and coos and seals, and I have learnt that you need to get the basic shape in the fluid paint. Yes, it's fluid, and of course it's going to move. That's the beauty of using it. It is slightly uncontrollable, but without the basic shaping and the sort of quantity of paint in the right spaces, you're never going to get what you actually need. So this is me. Remember at the beginning when I was doing all the kind of warm-up drawing, this is why I did the warm-up drawing, to get my hand back into the shape of the dragon. So as I'm doing the paints, I know roughly where I need the bulk of the paint to be so that I can let it flow and move. The straw technique of blowing to move the paint around means you're able to control it a little bit more as to where you want it to go, but also still let it be free enough to create beautiful mixes of its own volition. The other thing with a canvas this big is that I couldn't be tipping it all to try and get it all to move. There's just too much paint that would be moving. So this is a great way to control it. I know others use hair dryers and all sorts of things, but I've tried that and it's too messy for me. This I really like. I can get down into the detail of what I want the lines to look like and keeping the black and mixing the colours. Just a really fun thing to do. Bit more pouring done. Really not sure about it. Quite often the way with pours, I need to let it dry. I need to see what sinks. I need to see what doesn't sink. And I need to see what the silver does, because silver is a horrible colour to work with, but I really wanted to work with it. So I'm going to turn this around and zoom in on some of the cute bits right now, but who knows whether this will even become a thing. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. And these effects right here, you couldn't paint them if you wanted to. This is why I love paint pouring. The way they blend, the way the cells split, the effects of the black, the blurring, it's just absolutely wonderful. And when it's wet, it looks gorgeous because, of course, it's so shiny. So it is something that I tend to want to put a really high gloss varnish over once I'm actually done with it. And there's our finished dragon, looking absolutely gorgeous.